Hey guys, it's me again, and I'm back with another episode in the series about the calamitous people. The subject of this particular episode is the French family. And this particular episode is about the drive-in 7-Eleven. So Jerry and Linda French lived in the Dallas area, lived in one of the suburbs there. They were good friends of ours. And they had two little boys, Bo and Cody. And then later on, Bo and Cody had a little sister that came along. But at the time of this particular story, Bo and Cody were just little guys. So Jerry worked real hard. He worked at a local factory, but he also was trying to start up some businesses on the side. And one of these was he installed sliding rear windows and heavy-duty bumpers on trucks for a lot of the local dealerships. And back in those days, when you bought a pickup truck, it didn't come with a rear bumper. Those were typically added by your local dealer, and the dealers would have bumpers, big heavy-duty bumpers with an integrated trailer hitch, and they would have their name imprinted on the bumper. Well, so Jerry was a distributor for these bumpers, and he worked his factory job at night, and then during the day he would be out, working his rear end off at these truck dealerships. So he always was carrying around stuff in the back of his truck, and he was just in and out of his truck all the time at these dealerships. And his truck at the time was a 1-ton Chevrolet dually, and had a big engine in it, and it had a standard transmission, what people called a granny low 4-speed. They're geared real low so that they can pull heavy loads, because guys used them, like out on the farm and stuff, pulling big heavy loads, pulling trailers and that sort of thing. So it was a standard transmission, so Jerry disabled the clutch lockout, which meant that you didn't have to depress the clutch all the way to the floor to engage the starter on the thing. So, and it was a fairly common practice back in those days. This is when when those lockouts first came in, so as a design safety feature, and rightly so, as you'll see. But so anyway, Jerry was on his way home one day, and he had picked up the boys, and he stopped by the local convenience store. It just pulled up in front, turned off the motor, got out of left the boys, alone in the truck, and, didn't lock the doors or anything, because they're perfectly okay, and just stepped inside this convenience store, and so later, a lady came into the store, and in the midst of all the damage, and was telling Jerry at the time that she could see the whole thing happening like in slow motion. She saw one of the boys standing up in the seat, jumping up and down, and the other one's messing with all of the all the switches and everything on the dash, trying to be a big boy. And she said it was like slow motion, but she couldn't do a thing. But she just saw him through the passenger window. But one of those boys hit the key to start the truck. Well, like I said, Jerry had disengaged the clutch lockout, so you did not have to press the clutch down. So what happened was the truck was in gear, and it was in first gear, as it should be, to keep it from rolling away. The parking brake was not engaged. So when he hit the starter, the starter on the truck would cause it to just leap forward, which it did, right into the front of the convenience store. They came crashing through the front of that convenience store, knocked down the windows, knocked down all the counters and everything inside. Thank God nobody was standing at, checking out at the cash register at the time, because the truck landed on top of the cash register. Money went flying everywhere. And Jerry said that as he was leaving, the store owner was counting change. He was down on his hands and knees in the middle of the floor, gathering up the money and making change from customers as they were buying merchandise and leaving. And don't forget that if you like the stories I tell, please hit the like button and subscribe.